welcome to Anshika Yes Academy. This is our lesson number 12 of Tamilnadu Board. Tamilnadu Board, first year. South Indian Kingdom, second Chalukyas and Rashtrakutas. There is mainly 5 topics that we will cover. First, the achievements of Chalukya ruler publication. Second, administration, social life and art and architecture under the Chalukyas. Third, the political history of the Rashtrakutas. Fourth, administration and social society under the Rashtrakutas. Fifth, art and architecture of the Rashtrakutas. Besides the Pallavas, the Western Chalukyas and the Rashtrakutas in the Deccan constitute important political forces. Both these kingdoms had their rivals in the far south, namely the Pallavas and later the Cholas. Their period has also been important in the history of India for their cultural contributions. Chalukyas 543 to 755 AD. The Western Chalukyas ruled over an extensive area in the Deccan for about 2 centuries, after which the Rashtrakutas became powerful. The family of Western Chalukyas had its offshoots like the Eastern Chalukyas of Venki and Chalukyas of Kalyani. Pulukeshin first was the founder of Chalukya dynasty. He established a small kingdom with Vatapi or Badami as its capital. Pulukeshin second 608 to 642. The most important ruler of this dynasty was Pulukeshin II. The whole inscription issued by him gives the details of his reign. He fought with the Kadambas of Banvasi and the Ganges of Mysore and established his suzerainty. Dhurvinita. The Ganga ruler accepted his overlordship and even gave his daughter in marriage to Pulukeshin II. Another notable achievement of Pulukeshin II was the defeat of Harshvardhana on the bank of river Narmada. He put a check to the ambition of Harsha to conquer the south. In the first expedition against the Pallavas, Pulukeshin II emerged victorious, but he suffered a humiliating defeat at the hands of Narasimhavarman I near Kachi. Subsequently, the Chalukyan capital Vadapi was captured and destroyed by the Pallavas. The most important event in the reign of Pulukeshin II was the visit of Vezang in his kingdom. The successor of Pulukeshin II was Vikramaditya. He was again consolidated the Chalukyan kingdom and plundered the Pallava capital Kachi. Thus, he had avenged his father's defeat and that at the hands of the Pallavas. Kirtivarman II was the last of the rulers of Chalukyas. He was defeated by Dantedurga, the founder of the Rashtrakuta dynasty. Administration and social life under the Chalukyas. The Chalukya administration was highly centralized, unlike that of the Pallavas and Cholas. Village autonomy was absent under the Chalukyas. The Chalukyas had a great maritime power. Pulukeshin II had 100 ships in his navy. They also had a small standing army. The Badami Chalukyas were Brahminical Hindus, but they gave respect to the other religion. Importance was given to Vedic rites and rituals. The founder of the dynasty, Pulukeshin, first performed the Ashwamedha sacrifice. A number of temples in honor of Vishnu, Shiva, and other gods were also built during this period. When Sang mentioned about the decline of Buddhism in Western Deccan, but Jainism was still on the path of progress in this region. Ravi Kirti, the court poet of Pulukeshin II, who composed the whole inscription, was agent. Art and architecture. The Chalukyas were great patrons of art. They developed the Vesara style in the building of structural temples. However, the Vesara style reached its culmination only under the Rashtrakutas and the Hoysalas. The structural temples of the Chalukyas exist at Aihole, Badami, and Patadikal. Cave temple architecture was also famous under the Chalukyas. That cave temples are found in Ajanta, Ellora, and Nasik. The base specimens of Chalukya paintings can be seen in the Badami cave temple and in the Ajanta caves. The reception given to a Persian embassy by Pulukeshin II is depicted in a painting at Ajanta. The Chalukya temples may be divided into 2 stages. The first stage is represented by temples at Aihole and Badami. Among the 70 temples found at Aihole, 4 are important. Lad Khan temple is a low, flat-roofed structure consisting of a pillared hall. Durga temple resembles a Buddha Chaitya. Huchi Malingudi temple, the Gem temple at Meguti. Among the temples at Badami, the Mukteshwara temple and the Melaguti Shivalya are notable for their architectural beauty. A group of 4 Rock cut temples at Badami are marked by high workmanship. The walls and pillared halls are adorned by beautiful images of gods and human beings. The second stage is represented by the temples at Pattadikal. There are 10 temples here, 4 in the northern style and the remaining 6 in the Dravidian style. The Papana temple is the most notable in the northern style. The Sangameshwara temple and the Virupaksha temple are famous for their Dravidian style. The Virupaksha temple is built on the model of the Kailasna temple at Kanchipuram. It was built by one of the queens of Vikramaditya. Secondary sculptures brought from Kanchi were employed in its construction. Rashtrakutas 755 से 975 AD. The Rashtrakutas were of Kannada origin and Kannada language was their mother tongue. Datidurga was the founder of the Rashtrakuta dynasty. He defeated the Gujarats and captured Malwa from them. Then he annexed the Chalukya kingdom by defeating Kirtivarman II. Thus the Rashtrakutas became a paramount power in the Deccan. His successor Krishna I was also a great conqueror. He defeated the Ganges and the eastern Chalukyas of Vengi. He built the magnificent rock-cut monolithic Kailasa temple at Ellora. The next important king of this dynasty was Govinda III. He received victories over North Indian kingdoms. His successor Amogh I, 815 से 880 AD, ruled for a long period of 64 years. He had lost control over Malwa and Gangavadi. Yet his reign was popular for the cultural development. He was a follower of Jainism. Jinsena was his chief preceptor. He was also a patron of letters and he himself wrote the famous Kannada work Kavi Rajmarga. He had also built the Rashtrakuta capital, the city of Manyakheda. Among the successors of Amogh first, Krishna III 936 से 968 AD was famous for his expeditions. He marched against the Cholas and defeated them at Takkolam. He marched further south and captured Tanjore. He went as far as Rameshwaram and occupied it for some time. He built several temples in the conquered territories, including the Krishneshwara temple at Rameshwaram. Throughout his reign, he possessed the Tondamandalam region, including the capital Kachi. After his death, the power of Rashtrakutas declined. Administration. The Rashtrakuta Empire was divided into several provinces called Rashtrakuta under the control of Rashtrapatis. They were further divided into Vishas or districts governed by Vishapatis. The next subdivision was Bhukti, consisting of 50 to 70 villages under the control of Bhogapatis. These officers were directly appointed by the central government. The village administration was carried on by the village admin. However, the village assemblies played a significant role in the village administration, society and economy. The Hindu sects of Vaishnavism and Shaivism flourished during the period of Rashtrakutas, yet they did not affect the progress of Jainism. Under the patronage of Rashtrakuta kings and officers, almost one-third of the population of the Deccan were Jains. There were some prosperous Buddhist settlements at places like Kanheri, Solapur and Dharwad. There was harmony among various religions. There was a college at Salatogi, situated in modern Bijapur district. An inscription gives details of this educational center. It was run by income from the endowments made by the rich as well as by all the villagers on occasions of functions and festivals. The economy was also in a flourishing condition. There was an active commerce between the Deccan and the Arabs. The Rashtrakuta kings promoted the Arab trade by maintaining friendship with them. Cultural contribution. The Rashtrakuta widely patronized the Sanskrit literature. There were many scholars in the Rashtrakuta called Trivikarma, wrote Nala Champu and Kavira Hasya. Kavira Hasya was composed by Halayuddha. During the reign of Krishna III, the Jain literature flourished under the patronage of Rashtrakutas. Amogh I, who was a Jain, patronized many Jain scholars. His teacher Jinsena composed Parshva Buddhaya, a biography of Parshva in verses. Another scholar, Gunbhadra, wrote the Adi Purana, the life stories of various Jain saints. Sankatayana wrote the grammar work called Amogh Vritti. The great mathematician of this period, Viracharya, was the author of Ganita Saram. The Kannada literature saw its beginning during the period of Rashtrakutas. Among Varsa's Kaviraj Marga was the first poetic work in Kannada language. Papa was the greatest of the Kannada poet. His famous work was Vikramasena Ponna was another famous Kannada poet, and he wrote Shanti Purana. Art and architecture. The art and architecture of the Rashtrakutas were found at Ellora and Elephanta at Ellora. The most remarkable temple is the Kailash temple. It was excavated during the reign of Krishna first. It is carved out of a massive block of rock 208 feet long and 108 feet in the breadth and height. The temple consists of four parts: the main shrine, the entrance gateway, and intermediate shrine for Nandi and Mandapa surrounding the courtyard. The temple stands on a lofty plinth 25 feet high. The central face of the plinth has imposing figures of the elephants and lions, giving the impression that the entire structure rests on their back. It has a three-tiered shikhara or tower resembling the shikhara of the Mamallapuram Rathas. In the interior of the temple, there is a pillared hall which has 16 square pillars. The Kailasa temple is an architectural marvel with its beautiful sculpture. The sculpture of the goddess Durga is shown as slaying the buffalo demon. In another sculpture, Ravana was making attempts to life Mount Kailasa, the abode of Shiva. The scenes of Ramayana were also depicted on the walls. The general characteristics of the Kailasa temple are more Dravidian. Elephanta is an island near Bombay. It was originally called Sirpuri. The Portuguese, after seeing this large figure of elephant, named it Elephanta. The sculptural art of the Rashtrakutas reads its zenith in this place. There is a close similarity between the sculptures at Ellora and those in Elephanta. They might have been carved by the same craftsmen. At the entrance to the sanctum, there are huge figures of Dwara Palakas in the walls of Parakara. Around the sanctum, there are niches containing of the images of Shiva in various forms: Nataraja, Gandhara, Ardhanareshwara, and Somaskanda. The most imposing figure of this temple is Tirumurti. Trimurti. The sculpture is 6 meters high. It is said to represent the three aspects of Shiva as creator, preserver, and destroyer. Learning outcomes. First, the political history of the Chalukyas of Badami. Second, art and architecture of the Chalukyas. Third, achievements of the Rashtrakuta ruler. Fourth, cultural contributions of the Rashtrakutas. Fifth, literary developments during the Rashtrakuta rule. Thanks for watching.